Pro Wrestling Summit. You already know what it is. Knowledge.
Tatum.
How you doing, bro?
Oh, just living the dream.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream, man.
Nightmares are dreams, right? Nightmares are dreams.
Well, that was actually the name of a Meek Mill album. We don't want to talk about Meek Mill, do we?
Meek Mill.
I love you, Daddy. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But I'll tell you what, everything in my feeds for Reddit and everything, it's all Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
Everything is a Diddy meme. It's it's kind of funny, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of funny.
It's really ruined my algorithm too.
Has it really?
On everything, yeah, because like you said, it's everything. It's absolutely everything right now.
See, I don't even mind it that much. I think it's kind of funny at this point. It's just so fucking comical. It's like, oh my god, dude, this poor guy.
It used to just be wrestling for me, and now it's nothing but Diddy.
I mean, what do you think the most egregious thing is? I mean, it can't be the baby oil, because I don't think that it's baby oil.
What I've seen the most recently is all the LeBron stuff.
Oh yeah. Poor Bron.
Yeah,
that's tough, man. That's him dressing up as a French maid and stuff.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, man. I mean, jeez. It is. It's kind of tough, bro. I mean, I'll tell you what though. It has definitely taken some steam off of this Vince McMahon stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It really has. It has taken some steam off of this Vince McMahon stuff.
Puts things in a perspective a little bit.
Well, yeah, because Diddy is you want to talk about a savage. I mean, an absolute fucking savage the man was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was into some different type of thing. It's like Epstein Island, but on steroids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very odd. But anyway, speaking of Vince McMahon, not related to Vince McMahon at all, Tony Khan announced yesterday big, huge, giant deal for AEW, $185 million a year from TBS and Turner, or what? It's not Turner anymore. It's Warner Brothers Discovery. $185 million a year, man. And then they're going to be streaming the pay-per-views on Max, but not for free.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that makes any sense.
So, okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't really understand it too much, because I really don't understand it. What the hell? What are you doing?
So do you
so
have
you
to...
got to pay for a subscription, and then you have to pay for the pay-per-view on top of it. That's what the UFC does with ESPN Plus. You can't watch the pay-per-view stuff unless you're a subscriber to ESPN Plus, and then the pay-per-views are still $80.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know who would be doing. I feel like that hurts his market a little bit. I feel like that hurts his pay-per-view buys now, because who's gonna Max is not the biggest streaming platform out there. So now you have to sign up for Max, and then you have to buy the pay-per-view. So
right.
Now that's an additional purchase.
Right.
And that's a monthly purchase.
Right. It's 2 price points instead of just having a traditional cable where you have one price point for, $60, $70, $80, whatever it is.
So, I mean, how much were their pay-per-views before? Because I've never bought one, so I don't know how much they are.
I don't know, $60, $70?
So that plus $20 a month for Max.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. So, but they said that they're going to do a discount. But how much of a discount? Are you going to get the pay-per-view for $10? Because then it makes sense. Okay, if you're going to pay $10, fine. I bet a lot of people will fucking do that. They'll sign up for Max just so they can get the pay-per-view for $10.
Just make it free on Max. What is happening?
I mean, WWE has you sign up for Peacock, you
get all the pay-per-views.
Well, not only that, but you get all the old stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get the ROH library on Max? Is that going to be on Max now?
I don't know.
Oh.
That makes a
That would make a difference. A little bit of a difference.
I mean, would it though?
better than just nothing except for buying the pay-per-view on top of having the Max subscription.
Yeah, I guess
At least
so.
there'd be something there.
I guess so, yeah. At least there's some sort of value that you're getting. I just think the money's pretty crazy. It's like over it's $500 million.
And again, I just don't know what they're seeing. Do you look at the arenas?
Okay,
And
so again, that is my second question. Like, when you have a 5-year anniversary show, you can't even draw 4,000 people into the building.
yeah, it's rough. I mean, you're getting more people at political rallies at this point.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
Quite scary. Because that is it is kind of like entertainment. I mean, political rallies are definitely like entertainment.
100% entertainment now.
Yeah. I mean, what did Kamala have? Meg the Stallion? Was that?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She was just doing concerts every single rally. So
Interesting.
and Donald Trump is just
But someone's trying to pop him
Yeah.
everywhere he goes. So
never know.
everywhere you go,
never know what's
I'll
happening.
follow you down.
But yeah, it's brutal with AEW right now, and I don't mean to keep harping on them, but I mean it's every single week. The numbers are down. They occasionally spike to like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 buys for a live show, and then they're back down to a couple thousand and giving away a certain amount of tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. Like, why are you going to paper half the building and then somebody's going to pay you $185 million? Well, the conspiracy theory is that Shad Khan basically blackmailed Warner Brothers Discovery to give them a deal. That's a total conspiracy theory. I saw it on Reddit. I thought it was hysterical. And I got a really good chuckle out of it because I was like, could you imagine if this guy actually paid to get his son's professional wrestling company a TV deal? Like, what a move, man. What a move. And the fact of the matter is the shows are terrible.
This is the problem with not having the strong father figure in the at the head of the family. Vince McMahon would never have just paid money for his son Shane to run a program. In fact, like we talked about last week, yeah, no, you're gonna have to stab me if that's what you want.
Oh my god, dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. And you know, in all honesty, like, I'm happy for them because it makes the wrestling business that much better. Like, I'm glad that they got a TV deal done. I'm glad that they're, like, you know, proceeding in that direction, in a positive direction, because it means more jobs for the people in professional wrestling. That's what I care about more than anything else. I mean, there are a lot of guys on that bloated AEW roster that don't belong there, who are making good money to ride the pine, essentially, and they're not doing shit. And, you know, that's fine. I mean,
Hey, Miro.
Oh, poor fucking Miro, dude. I really hope he comes back to WWE. That Rusev Day was the joint. No. I liked it a lot.
I'm totally against that at this point. If you couldn't hack it in WWE and then you go to AEW and you still can't get things worked out, yeah, maybe it's just not worth it.
Yeah, well, what is he gonna do? He's gonna be a Twitch streamer? Like, what?
I could care less. He can go bag groceries. I really don't care what he does at this point.
I mean, fair enough. He doesn't pay your bills, so
right, exactly.
I mean, what the fuck?
Don't care.
Who cares?
Oh, you couldn't hack it, so I'm gonna feel bad for you.
Yeah,
sorry, buddy.
Yeah, you've made millions of dollars. Like, okay, yeah, all right, I got you. No, I kind of feel you in that respect a little bit.
Couldn't hack it in the wrestling business. Couldn't hack it in his marriage. You know, I mean.
Oh, that's messed up. I mean, she's a rat. I mean, I don't want to say that she's a rat, but she's a rat. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's fine. Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Bad decision making. That's all that is.
Well, I mean, I think that we've all been guilty of bad decision making at points in our lives.
100%. And we didn't make nearly as much money as Miro did.
Yeah, thank God, because my mistakes would have been way bigger if I made that much money. Jesus, I would have never stopped being a drunk.
I will say I do agree with you, though, with having the competition now in between AEW and WWE, even though it doesn't feel like that much of a competition, because Tony can throw so much money at his programming, even though he's admitting, storylines don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just match to match. That's what we're doing. And you know what? There's there's a market for that. And then there's the WWE where it's like, oh, here's professional wrestling with storylines and
Yeah, so I mean, like I've been saying this entire time, probably since like 2022, it has become AEW has kind of become like an indie. It's a giant indie fed with money. That's all that it is. It's an unlimited budget indie fed, and WWE is professional wrestling. Like that's what it is about. And I'm not saying that I like everything that WWE does. I'm not saying that I like everything that AEW does. I think that they both have really, really strong rosters. They have really, really strong people on both their rosters. It's just the type of wrestling that I like at my age is more towards the storytelling. Like, let's tell a good story. Like, do I give a flying hootenanny whether CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are arguing over a bracelet? I do not. I could care less. But the fact of the matter is that it's been the hottest thing for the past year.
Yep.
And it's intriguing. And now this Saturday at Bad Blood, they're coming up on doing this Hell in the Cell match. Like, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with that. Obviously, I would prefer that Drew goes over, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think Punk beats him in the Hell in the Cell, and and then Punk goes on to work with Seth.
I'm really concerned about that Hell in a Cell match. I don't know how well CM Punk is going to do in that match. I guess it'll help to hide his rust, for lack of a better term, his age, because you don't really need to be that spot on in a match like that. But
yeah, it's more about the violence than it is anything else.
It'll give him a lot of rest spots too.
Yeah,
so it may work out. But I mean, we're talking the expectations for Hell in a Cell now is you got to do some pretty hardcore stuff to get it over. I mean, that match with Edge and Finn Balor in the Hell in a Cell wasn't that great. They didn't do a ton of stuff, and people were really disappointed. So,
I mean, the thing is that the bar has been set so high for things that you can do in the Hell in the Cell. So let's be honest about it. I mean, what are you gonna do? Mick Foley ruined it for everybody else. Like, I mean, Foley had to do something so crazy as to get thrown off of the top of the thing because Shawn did Hell in the Cell first, and it was wild.
Yep.
The match was wild. And then Mick did it, and it was completely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you supposed to do?
You've had people bust through the cage, through the top of the cage, get thrown off the cage. Even Rikishi took a bump off the cage. I mean,
into the truck. Remember that? That was wild.
I mean, there's just been so much that's going on in the Hell in a Cell, and there's just not much of a way for it to stand out. I feel like there's a lot of other matches they could have done to kind of wrap this up in a little bow.
I mean, why not do a collar?
Yeah, I mean, a collar that would have been interesting. You did a strap match. Why not do a
that's
collar
what
match?
That's what I'm saying. Why not do a collar match? Or do a dog collar match. It would be at least be entertaining.
Even just go to a traditional cage match. The old school type of cage match.
Break out the big blue.
Yeah, get rid of the chain link and break that out.
Oh my God, man!
That'd be interesting. But I mean, even just street fight, whatever. There's plenty of ways you could have gone about it. And
a backlot brawl,
yeah,
like something wild.
Now, with something like that, where things are kind of open, you have a chance of getting Seth in there, and I have a feeling that Seth is going to get involved in this somehow anyway. But it kind of just doesn't fit with the whole Hell in a Cell thing.
My whole issue with it is, they don't allow blood.
Yeah.
So like they do these cage matches and like they're gonna do Hell in the Cell and like no one's allowed to get color. It's like how does that work?
Yeah.
Like, I mean Cody got color. I don't think it was on accident. I think he did the blade job, but that's just my own personal opinion because it seemed like he dragged his forehead and then all of a sudden there was blood, and I was like, well, that's like a prototypical cage match type of thing to do. You hide the razor and boom. But that's just me. I have no evidence to say that it was a shoot or it was hard way or it was he did the blade job. But from my own personal opinion, it looked like he did the blade job, and there is no way that he would have done that without permission.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, do you think if anyone has watched wrestling over the past 20 years, they've seen Triple H bleed? Like a lot, like a lot of times, and good color. Yep. I mean, bleeding buckets. And I get that it's a different time now, and like they don't want to talk about that, and they try to like limit.
Don't talk about the things that got you there.
Yeah, like it's just a little odd. But it really always upsets me anytime that I see a cage or a Hell in the Cell, because I know that there's not going to be any bloodshed, and it's like, man, that's like part of the match.
I think they'll do bloodshed in that match, though. I think CM Punk will get opened up in that one. I feel like CM Punk will be the type of guy that'll
just do it and ask for forgiveness after.
He'll be the type of guy that'll say, "Listen, I have to. You have to.
Yeah.
It's this kind of match. You have to."
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Maybe Drew busts him open hard way with chops. He just chops the fuck out of him and just busts his chest wide open.
Well, that's possible anyway. It doesn't matter what.
He's a fucking big guy, man. He is a large fella.
I don't know. I'm just a little disappointed, like I said, in the match because it doesn't really fit everything that's gone on. They didn't try to escape. They haven't tried to escape each other. They haven't tried to run away from each other.
Yeah,
that's usually what the Hell in a Cell is for. It's like, hey,
to keep them in.
Yeah. But they were literally tied to each other.
Well, I mean, Drew isn't going to run from Punk.
No, and Punk's not going to run from Drew. He's proven that. So what are we doing with the cage?
Let's do a dog collar where they can't get away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, again,
the strap match was fine. I didn't like the stoplights.
Yeah, that was
strange. The stoplights were kind of.
I get it though. I get it. It adds a little visual element to it. It's fine. It is what it is.
It's fine, but I wasn't like a giant fan.
No, cool spot where CM Punk was tagging the buckles on Drew's back there. That was pretty funny. But I mean, again, it neither here nor there. It just doesn't make sense for this to be the kind of final match in the series.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm much more interested in some of the other things on the show than I am in that. I'm very interested in this Gunther Sami Zayn thing. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with that. I don't even know if that's gonna be on the pay-per-view.
Well, I've heard rumors now that Sami Zayn may be Uncle Howdy's next target.
Really?
I guess there was some stuff backstage with Sammy. There was like shadows in the background of him, and you got the conspiracy theorists that are like saying the shadows behind him looked like it was Uncle Howdy, and there was like some sort of image in the background and all that. You know how they try to piece together
that doesn't make a lot
type of stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense though, because Sammy's like by himself. Like there's not like they would need to attack a group. They're not going to attack just a single person because then they're heels at that point.
Well, I mean, technically they attacked
Gable,
and then Gable kind of put together a group to deal with the Wyatts.
Yeah, which some of the booking decisions that they make are suspect to me. I just kind of look at it and I go, I don't know if I would have done it like that.
They've just gone so long with Gable and the Wyatt Six now that it's like you gotta kind of move on. But I don't know.
Where do you go?
Unless they're gonna try to.
Where do you go?
Use the Wyatt Six to like bring wrestlers to their full potential or something like that. I mean, work them into their full potential.
That would be interesting.
This whole idea of like Sammy continuously being turned down by Gunther is like he's not worthy. Well, the Wyatt Six is going to bring that element out of him that'll make him worthy.
I see. I got it. So like they're making him into a monster essentially. They're that's an interesting take on it. I gotta say,
all of those members of the Wyatt Six basically were not worthy until they were together.
I mean, they're still kind of not worthy.
I mean, 100% agree. It's pretty bad.
I mean, if there was ever a storyline that needed to figure itself out, it's that storyline with those folks.
No aim, no purpose.
Dude, like, where have they been? Okay, let's start there. Where have they been? They just show vignettes, like, that's it, but it's not really involving them. It's just, like, weird words on the screen, and then a picture of Alexa Bliss at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Where are these people? Are they going to attack somebody? You're not telling us anything. You're not we don't see them. So what are we supposed to do here? Like, we're just supposed to sit on our hands and continue to buy their merchandise? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, Bray was constantly out there, and he didn't need to be targeting somebody outwardly to be interesting.
Just let him talk.
Yeah, but nobody has that skill set in that group. So,
I think Joe Gacy does, but I don't think that he's going to get the opportunity.
No, I mean, it's going to be
Bo.
Yeah. And he doesn't have that ability.
Well, Eric Young was just talking about it on the Chris Van Vliet podcast. I don't know if you're familiar with Chris Van Vliet.
Oh, yeah.
So he was on the Chris Van Vliet podcast, and he was talking about when he was in WWE and then he like quit because he didn't want to work for McMahon. But he said that he was supposed to be the third member with Bray and Bo. He was supposed to be the third guy in that group, which would have been hella interesting. He was like, yeah, it was all about it when they told me the idea about what they wanted to do, and I thought that it was awesome that I could have been included in that, but
I mean, good for him for standing on principle and everything.
I mean, what the fuck, dude? I mean, that's, you gotta give the guy some sort of fucking credit for fucking being like, I'm not working for this fucking asshole. Yeah. This guy is a total douche. Yeah. I wouldn't have done that. I'll tell you right now. I can't
tell you that I would either. It's a lot of money and a huge spotlight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it, man. Like, you standing on business. Like, I totally get that and I respect it, but in a spot like that, like, I don't know how much TNA is paying you, but I promise you that it's probably a pittance of what you were making at WWE. So, and plus, like, the ability to coach at WWE, like, there are opportunities within that company that you can sink your teeth into. I don't know what his deal is with TNA. I have no idea. I have no idea what the guy's financial standing is, but I can tell you that TNA is not paying the same amount of money that WWE is in contracts.
They can't.
It's how can they?
Yeah.
They don't even have a TV deal.
Right.
There's no TV deal in place. They have TNA Plus.
They've had to now, which is strange that TNA is basically working alongside of WWE, or at least somewhat partnering with WWE in some areas.
Yeah.
And he's still in TNA. Even though they're kind of working with WWE, but I guess McMahon's gone, so that was the issue. McMahon's gone.
I mean, yeah, but once you I think it's like one of those type of things. Like once you spit in the face, you know what I mean. Unless you're a guy who's uber talented, like a CM Punk, where can talk shit about the company for 10 fucking plus years. But he's got such drawing power that what are you supposed to do? Yeah. Cody, the same thing. Like, what do you think? Like, they're not going to hire a guy like Cody back? Of course they are, dude. What are you talking about? Like, that's fucking crazy to think that you're not going to hire a guy like that back. But Eric Young? I mean, good wrestler, decent gimmick, has some, some qualities of... I wouldn't say he's great. He's, very much a mid-card
serviceable
type. Yeah, he's like a Shelton Benjamin type of guy, like a very serviceable fucking type of guy. And there you go. There's another guy who AEW signed that they're not going to know what the fuck to do with. Shelton Benjamin, the head of the Hurt Business Complaint Department or the Hurt Syndicate Complaint Department. What the fuck are we doing? Shelton Benjamin is a complaint guy now? What? It is the most bizarre fucking shit that they got going on over there. Like, what are we fucking doing? And why are you fucking with Prince Nana? Leave Prince Nana alone. He is a gem, sir.
I will say this about that. I am very hopeful that they do something right with the Hurt Syndicate. Whatever. The Hurt business,
yeah.
Because that was a huge missed opportunity over and over again in WWE, And I'm hoping that they kind of give them the reins a little bit and say, hey, what is it that you want to do? And kind of, you bring Lashley in, you do it the
Shelton,
right way.
Lashley, Ricochet. I'm thinking Ricochet is going to join up with that group.
I think that'd be a decent fit. He wouldn't have to say anything. He can just flip around.
Bingo.
And definitely don't say anything. Don't
just shut your mouth.
Don't say that you're Kobe with it. Maybe not. Maybe a bad move.
Maybe not great. Maybe not a great look.
But I think that would be pretty good. It has the potential to be really good. MVP is still MVP.
I like MVP shtick though.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
so you don't have to do anything with him. It's not like you have to work him into something. He's MVP. He's gonna bring a decent promo. He's gonna be solid outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm. It's not like you have to worry about those guys like getting into trouble or that's like not their deal.
So let them do their thing and let them be what they should have been in WWE. Well, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm hopeful that.
I'm very hopeful that that they're going to be allowed to do what they do and just let those guys cook, man. Like let them cook for a little bit. Lashley's a big fucking giant human being. Like he is going to tower over everybody else pretty much in that show, especially with Luchasaurus being on the shelf. Like.
That's a sad situation.
Yeah, it's really bad, man. Like, he had 80% lung function or something. He had 80% oxygen.
It's not the first time he's had this type of.
No, he's had some sort of issue before with his chest or something, right?
Yeah, it's too bad. That's another guy that's had a lot of missed opportunities with his character.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I really wasn't like big into the Luchasaurus thing. I liked Luchasaurus when he was with Jungle Boy because it was a cool gimmick and it was different and it was, new and fresh. And then, Jack Perry decided real glass. And now he's turned himself into the scapegoat who drives a short bus to the arena. Like it is very strange.
But the Luchasaurus he's massive. He's really good in the ring. He's agile. You don't find guys that can move like the big guys that can move like he can.
Agreed. I 100% agree. But who else is there that's big like Lashley? Billy Gunn.
Oh yeah,
But sure. Billy Gunn's like 60 fucking something years old. I'm just trying to think of like who is on that show that's like a big giant human like that.
When they bring Brock in, that's when.
Don't. Oh man. And Vince and Shane, they all come in together.
Jeez.
Dude, I would pop so big. I would. Oh my God.
You can't use the same taglines and everything, so you call Brock the last big thing.
The only big
thing.
The only big thing. The only big pisser. The only. I think you just call it Janelle Grant.
Can they bring back Christian's old pyro there so it looked like a golden shower coming down when?
Oh my God!
When Brock comes out.
Oh my God, that would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing. Not to make light of that situation, but it's.
Sorry, Brock. I love you, Brock. Please don't.
Please don't hurt us. Please like I didn't do.
We know you can.
Yeah. And it's all in good fun. You know it just as well as I do, Brock. Like
none of it's real. We don't believe the
allegations. Yeah, I don't believe anything. So I don't believe anything from anybody, even you. Like I don't think that you asked for such things. No. That sounds completely insane to me. Yeah. It's ridiculous almost. I don't think Vince McMahon ever has put somebody in a bad situation that has worked for him. Ever. What are we talking about?
Great guy. Great guy.
Great guy. He's not going to win a Lions Club award anytime in the near future. I'm just saying. But, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? Only God can judge me. Or P. Diddy. Take that.
Oh, what else do we got going for Bad Blood though? We got
That's a great question. Liv and Rhea, okay.
it's gonna be the same type of match, which is fine. This is Triple H's, you know, beating a dead horse. He does it sometimes with these stories. It's a little unnecessary to keep going with Liv and Rhea. I mean, she has to get her title back.
Yeah, exactly. And what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't have Liv continue to keep the belt.
Sure, you can. I think she is going to keep the belt.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my God,
I
that
don't think
would
they're
be
going to put
something.
it back on Rhea.
That would be something. Let me just tell you. What about Bailey Nia?
Well, Bailey Nia, I totally expect there to be some.
Yeah. It's Tiffy time.
But I don't think she's going to cash in. I think it's going to be another screwy thing. I think they're going to play with that for a while. They're not doing what I wanted them to do, which I brought up like a month ago or whatever, where I wanted basically Nia to lose and then destroy whoever she loses to so that Tiffy can cash in.
Correct.
I think that would be awesome, but it's not going to happen. I don't think she'll obviously get screwed over by Tiffy, and then not Nia. I think Bailey will get screwed over by Tiffy, and then she'll tease once again that she's going to cash in. But they got so much play with that still. There's no reason to do it right now.
I think Tiffy goes face sooner than later, because especially how the interaction with her and Nia went last week on SmackDown, with her grabbing Nia grabbing Tiffy's face and being like, she was like smushing her face. I was like, oh my God, dude, I wish somebody would try to do that to me. I'd smack the shit out of you. Like, that is wild. And Tiffy's going to be a champion sooner than later. There's no doubt about it. I mean, she has all the intangibles. Like, she's fucking really good. She's really good in the ring. She knows her character. She gets it on the mic. And she's going to become a huge face. A huge face. Just like Braun Breaker's doing right now. He's having his face moment where people are starting to cheer him and the dogs are starting to bark for him. Woof, 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 woof. And then all of a sudden it's like you see this turn start to happen. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be amazing until he takes it all away from the fans again. And it's going to be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet.
I mean, they definitely... I want them to kind of wait on Tiffy a little bit, because I want her to have a good long run with that title. So I want Nia to lose it, win it back with Tiffy's help and all that, and then eventually like hotshot that belt a little bit so that it'll feel better. It'll feel more important when Stratton holds it for a long time.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like you need some titles to be hot shot. The Intercontinental Championship should be going back and forth right now.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that with him and Braun.
I think that's a whole series that can go. They put on a really good match.
Yeah, they did.
And
I do like the new Intercontinental title too, that they added the blue to it now again. It's pretty solid.
And if they could get that going, if they could hold that together and keep that going for a while, again, it harkens back to the New Day and the Usos for me. So having something going back and forth where you basically know right now the championships that are held right now are not going to be lost in the near future. Having one that you don't know if it's going to be held on to is important to me. It gives a little bit of parity.
Yeah. What do you feel about Cody Roman against Jacob and...
What a waste. Once again, the World Championship the WWE Championship is not being defended. What a waste. And it's... What can you do? Because the Bloodline is the storyline right now. They don't need that championship involved in it right now. Once Roman becomes tribal chief again...
He's going to take the belt back from Cody.
He's going to take the belt back from Cody. Absolutely.
You don't think The Rock is going to take it from Cody?
That would be interesting. I just don't know.
he can't. I don't know if he can commit to being a champion like that.
I don't either. But I do think that he would pull something where he takes the title off of Cody at WrestleMania. You stole my WrestleMania moment.
Oh man, you wouldn't want to see. You'd want to see Rock Cody.
No. I'm not saying I would want to. I'm saying I could see The Rock pulling strings and saying this is what's going to happen.
I would love to see Rock Roman at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
As a night one.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Or, well, it wouldn't be a night one. They would put it on night two because
they'll put Cody and Rock on night one and then Rock Roman night two.
No way is The Rock fucking wrestling 2 matches again on fucking WrestleMania. It's not happening.
If he can have the championship number 1 and his match with Roman that he wants number 2.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Maybe the winner wrestles. Maybe they do that. The winner of night 1 wrestles Cody on night 2, and Rock beats Roman. What a sham that would be. I would be pissed. I would be totally pissed because then he's definitely beating Cody.
You need to kind of get things into the works pretty quickly then. You need The Rock to step up for Solo soon. You need Roman to win the Rumble. Or The Rock to win the Rumble, one of the two. And you need a storyline to get going about which one's the actual tribal chief. Get that going for night 1.
So you think Rock is going to take up for Solo?
I think that would be, again, if it all works out to match at WrestleMania.
Oh, see, I see it the exact opposite way.
That The Rock is going to support Roman?
No, I see that they're going to boot Solo out. And it's going to be Rock, Guerrillas of Destiny.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
Jacob.
Point is, my point was he needed to be on that side of the bloodline storyline.
Gotcha. I think Solo goes back with Roman.
Well, that would be interesting.
And they
beg for forgiveness.
And they do the 4 of them against the Usos, Solo, and Roman at War Games.
So basically, Solo has to accept Roman as his tribal chief again.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. He said whoever wears the Ulafala is the tribal chief.
And you had Jacob Fatu looking at Solo with that.
Correct.
So
I just think that Solo joins his brothers, the Usos, his legitimate brothers, to wrestle the other brothers and Jacob Fatu. Mm-hmm. And then The Rock and Roman are just, cherries on top of the fucking cake there. Like, because, The Rock will be able to tell an incredible story in a War Games match. Because, of course, he's going to be the last one to come in. He's not going to be the first one to come in because then he has to take too much offense. So you're going to have this massive build-up to Rock Roman with them not even touching each other. Mm-hmm. And when they finally get in the ring with each other, it is going to be electric.
Yeah.
It will be electric. Fireworks.
I do feel they need to pay that off now. They need to have a Rock Roman. They teased it.
You can't not do it now. You have to do it.
And that has to be done like in the next few years because The Rock is diminishing returns after a while.
You have to do it. You absolutely have to do it sooner than later. There's no doubt in my mind that they are going to fucking cash that in. They have to.
The only thing that I will say is that technically does not need the championship on it.
It doesn't. Of course it doesn't need the championship.
So they might just make Cody walk away from all that and allow Cody to have the championship, which right now it seems like there's this whole situation going on with him and Kevin Owens, which does anybody want to see that match again?
No, but I'd be interested in seeing him and Randy.
Yeah, him and Randy would be interesting.
And I think that's what they're building up to. Is actually they're using Kevin Owens as like the middle guy to get to Cody and Randy because Randy and KO are going to go heel.
So you think they're going to give Randy another chance with another shot at the title?
Why wouldn't they?
Well, he's getting up there too.
I mean, he'd be a perfect person to take it off of Cody. If it was me booking it, that's where I would go.
Well, I mean, right now I'm trying to think of anybody else that could take it off of him. And
there's the other issue. Who could take it off of him besides Randy Orton?
Aside from Randy, you're looking at just Roman Reigns. That's it.
Or Gunther.
But he's already got a championship. So
who cares though?
No, but I mean, you know what I mean saying.
Wouldn't that be something though?
Unify the championship.
Unify the Gunther is the guy to unify the titles. Cody would be fucking heartbroken.
Oh yeah.
He would be he would drink his Wheatley's so good he drinks it neatly's. I fucking hate that commercial. I hate it. American vodka? That is the dumbest shit ever. Who the fuck wants to drink American vodka? Nobody wants to drink American vodka.
Especially at that price point.
Why does Moscow always get the mule? Moscow gets the mule because vodka is made for Russian people, man. Yeah, they made it out of potatoes. Americans, what are Americans supposed to drink? Whiskey.
I mean,
bourbon. These are things. I mean, bourbon
Moonshiner's
specifically.
There for a reason, you know. I mean,
oh god, oh god, it gives me like heartburn just thinking about it. Oh god, fruity tasting moonshine.
Even now, I'm still trying to think. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of who else could take that.
There's nobody else, dude.
And they're not building anybody to that really either.
Who?
I mean,
exactly.
They tried to put Solo in that type of category, but
he's not ready.
He's not ready.
He's not the guy. Jacob Fatu's the guy.
Yeah.
If there's a solo guy out of that group, a single, it's Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why they hesitated bringing him in, because they knew that this was going to happen. Jacob Fatu was going to outshine Solo and be an animal. Yeah. And that's what he is, dude. You can't take your eyes off of that guy when he's on screen. It's just the way it goes.
I mean, it's so close to Umaga, it's ridiculous. Like the intensity, the aggression.
But a better athlete.
Better athlete. He's not as big as him, but a much better athlete. Not that Umaga was a bad athlete, but he was a little bit limited by his size.
I mean, he's not doing a fucking springboard moonsault, dude.
Not at all.
You know, he's not doing Arabian press moonsaults and shit. Like, Jacob Fatu is a fucking crazed lunatic.
Yeah, and that's, again, you have to, especially with a talent like that, you have to pull the trigger pretty quickly. Because
oh, my God.
There's only so long that they can do these types of things.
You know? And he's he's in his early 30s, I think. So, like, he's got a couple more years of being able to do this at that level, and then he's going to start toning it down a bit.
Right.
I mean, I think Randy is the guy. If it was me, I would pull the trigger on Randy, and the whole reason why is because he still gets the reaction.
Yeah. It's just so disappointing for Cody. I mean, to not plan better for this.
I mean, I don't know if it's disappointing for the guy. I mean,
well, I'm not saying he's disappointed. I'm saying I'm disappointed for him.
Well, I'm disappointed in his lack of matchups that he's had to wrestle. I mean, he hasn't had any really good fucking matchups. I mean, matches against Solo, okay, fine. Like one or two, but like they worked the whole fucking program together, and like Solo didn't win one fucking match.
Yeah.
Not one match. So, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm supposed to take this guy as a serious fucking threat, dude?
Of course not.
No way. Like, that's crazy.
They buried Solo.
Yeah, Randy, on the other hand, is a very serious threat. He's fucking 300 pounds, 6'5", looks like a fucking machine.
Yeah.
He's jacked out of his fucking mind, and he can still wrestle a bit. And they don't need to do 1.5 million fucking moves against each other. They can go in there and fucking legitimately tell the story.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. That's what your whole fucking shit should be based around. Who is going to tell the best story with Cody?
Yeah.
Kevin playing the middle guy right now, being mad at Cody, is the perfect vehicle to get to Cody Randy. It just is. Like, I hope that's what they do. I hope they do not saddle Cody with having to work the Rock again.
Yeah, and I mean, you can... you have a whole story baked in there where, you know, whatever, he talks about his father a lot and, you know, dusty roads and all this. But, you know, Randy can come in and say, you can talk about your father all you want, but if it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be here. Go all the way back to when he brought him into.
Dude. I mean, he could talk about Randy could talk about his dad.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they were both. They're both from wrestling dynasties, but it's Randy that brought Cody in,
right,
to WWE,
and they had the Legacy group together.
Right, they had the Legacy group, and again, that's where he got his start. I gave you this start, now I'm taking your title.
Ooh, man, that could be so spicy. That could be so spicy. And think about the RKO that Cody would take.
Oh yeah,
he would take an incredible fucking RKO.
Yeah.
I think to finish this episode off, we should just talk about NXT real quick. What do you think about the logo and the new belts? You're not a fan of the belts, them switching belts all the time.
The logo is clean, and I understand why they had to switch the belts, but I'm tired of it. For anybody who's an avid collector, don't you get sick of having to shell out hundreds of dollars all the time for all these new championships that only last for a year or two? I mean, you want to talk about hot shot and belts. They're hot shot and designs.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking wild.
It's gotten insane.
It is pretty wild.
They have changed the every NXT championship within the last 2 years. Every single one. They've changed the design.
Except for the North American title.
Except for the North American title, that's right. Except for the North American title. But everything else, they have changed. They've changed the WWE Championship. They've changed the World Heavyweight Championship. They've changed the tag titles.
Intercontinental belt has changed.
All of them. The U.S. title, I believe, has had some modifications to it. I mean, every single championship. When does it stop? And then you can even look at AEW and how often they're changing their championships.
Oh my God, the American title was the international title. Now it's back to the international title. It's so fucking bizarre, man. It is just bizarre.
It's insane. And I mean, the design, I think the design is crisp. The design is clean. It's nice.
I hate that it's the Raiders colors, though.
Well, what can you
do? I fucking hate black and silver.
I like it being silver because it kind of signifies it as a secondary brand. Yeah. You know, you're not winning the gold there. You know, you don't get to the gold till you get to the main roster. And I know they're trying to make it out to be like,
a third brand,
but it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It had that push for a while.
Yeah,
it's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely not there anymore.
So I think it's nice, but it's just unnecessary to keep changing these championships all the time.
Well, they did an incredible viewership. I will say that much. It was fucking. I read the stats on it, and I was like, wow, holy shit! Like they really did huge numbers on the CW network, which was, pleasantly surprising. I thought that their numbers were going to go way the fuck down, but I
think I told you, I think it's going to be a really good fit for the CW and NXT.
Yeah,
because NXT is just a different product that you don't have to worry about a lot of the controversy that you have to worry about with Raw, SmackDown, anything in AEW.
Right.
So I think it's going to work out really well for them. That's the family friendly for the most part. Some things with the divas there get a little iffy, but
or
the women's wrestlers. Sorry, not the divas.
Having Sexy Red performing next week, why?
Oh, that's.
I mean, I get it.
Somewhat mainstream to a younger audience.
It's totally mainstream, dude.
Yeah.
All these young kids are listening to this shit. It's crazy to me. I don't know. I don't understand that. And they changed every song. Every song has changed now for the opening of the shows. It's all hip hop now. I'm like, what is going on? And I love hip hop, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Are we really going in that direction? And female hip hop artists.
Mm-hmm.
Except for NXT. NXT has Lil Wayne and I think 2 Chainz is their new theme song, which is very odd. It's just very strange that they're doing this sort of thing. It's just very different from the WWE that I have become and we have all become accustomed to over these years, and even NXT. I would have thought Triple H is gonna get fucking Motorhead to he's gonna buy a Motorhead song,
right?
To use for the opening of NXT. No, he's got some fucking he's got 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. I'm like, this motherfucker has never even heard, he's never even listened to Lil Wayne one time. What is
2
this guy?
Chainz, you say? Why exactly?
Yeah, what the fuck are we talking? What are we talking about?
You have 2 Chainz. Oh, okay.
It's so bizarre, man.
That's a DX skill right there.
Oh, 100%. Dude, also, Shawn Michaels looks old as fuck. why he should have never cut his hair. His hair he's going bald on top. He's got like a comb back, but it's not quite a comb over. It's a comb back.
I mean, just in time for Halloween, they're bringing out
they're bringing out Beetlejuice. HB Juice.
I mean, it's going to be great every week from now on. They should just bring out Sean and say, "Oh man, this is a who are you supposed to be exactly? Because you are creepy as shit."
You, sir, are creepy. You are very, very creepy.
How do you make your eye do that?
Are you looking at me? Who are you looking at? Well, this has been another rousing episode of Pro Wrestling Summit. We have our new Wrestling Monday show coming up with Chris Dozer. That's going to be debuting this upcoming Monday, the 7th of October. This is being released on the 4th of October, Friday the 4th. And, make sure that you reach out to us on Instagram at good.villain.media. You can also hit us up on, I don't know, whatever other, more Instagram. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I don't know, man.
Comment on YouTube.
Yeah, comment on YouTube. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Like, I shouldn't have to say this shit. People already know what to do.
Tune in next week for our new title reveal.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new title reveal next week.
We're gonna do it every week from now on.
Except ours are all made out of cardboard,
but they sell for $400.
Well, knowledge. It's been a fucking hell of an episode once
Always
again.
Always a pleasure, Tatum.
Let's talk again next week. Until then, folks, have yourselves a fantastic day. Peace.